All right. Every now and then you get a chance to chop it up with a fucking Jayhawk.
What's up? What's up?
Phillip,
How you doing?
how's life, buddy?
Life is great. I am about to leave for Michigan next week. 5 years in the making. I will be finally training with Kyrie Irving's trainer. Basketball and the
Wait a second.
NBA is,
Wait a
yeah,
second. Wait a second. You're going to Michigan from Kansas. It
great.
took you 5 years to get there.
Yeah, Grand Rapids. So my whole thing as a Jayhawk is that I never had much support growing up. I made the team in high school, but never received much mentorship and guidance. And I also always sacrificed basketball for my career. I was an aspiring surgeon. I went to KU and I was pre med, and I was always like, I got to go be a grown up and focus on med school and all those things. And long story short, as a Jayhawk, growing up as a Jayhawk, basketball's always had a way of pulling me back in. So after college, this is really when it manifested. I earned my way into a league of XD1 and overseas players. People who were younger than me kept coming up to me and asking, hey, if I was the guy that played at the main court, because I made a little name for myself at KU during my time. And so the whole point is, in business, they say if you hang around five millionaires, multimillionaires, and billionaires, you'll most likely be the next one. So I took that same concept and I just said, okay, what can I become if I had NBA Hall of Fame, top level NBA mentorship to develop my game, right? And just see how far the depths of my athleticism can go on the court. So that's why I got into business. My whole thing is, if I have to buy a team just to put myself on the roster as last resort, then that's how I'll get it done. But in the meantime, right, I want to maximize my athletic window. And like I said, just see how far I can push myself. So yeah, it's been 5 years. Just 5 years ago, I was still a master's student, which was a total facade. It was something that I was busy with, but I was really trying to figure out myself. And then I went from a master's student to an independent business owner for about 2 years, and then it led me to me meeting my business partner, who's a hedge fund manager, and now I'm the president and CEO of a private investment firm, where I get to help people make money, or make money for people through the global financial markets. But yeah, dude, I mean, everything I do is for the NBA. And then that would have never happened at Chalmers
Well, you
if
know
not.
Shaq's buying an NBA team here in Vegas.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, Shaq's very business savvy.
he's super business savvy. I've had a chance to meet him a couple of times, and he is literally one of the most intelligent people you'll ever meet when it
Oh
comes to
yeah.
business.
Yeah, he has a doctorate too, right?
He has a doctorate. He's got a sheriff's license, I think. Like I said, he's very, very intelligent. He's achievement oriented. His father raised him extremely well.
Yeah, he came from that military background.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's military background or not, if you have a strong father in your life, it
Yep,
really does set the tone for the rest of your life.
that's right. It absolutely does, man.
How about you and Shaq get together? Come here on the 12th. We'll put you in a room together. We got a private dinner. We got all day live podcast. And you could literally say, hey, Shaq, I don't have to be a big owner of the team, but how about you give me like 1% and I'll come in with you and we'll put together the Vegas
The
team.
12, what is that that's a Saturday though, right? I'll still be in Michigan, I think.
Oh, what do you,
I'll literally be coming back from Michigan, I think.
they got
That
flights from Michigan to Vegas, I hear.
I'll Okay. Okay. When's your dinner?
Right that night around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, early dinner.
I'll have to look at the logistics and see what I can do. But yeah, I mean, it's a little short notice. But hey, okay,
Listen,
I'll look
if
into it.
you, my theory
I
in
was
life is if you got
Yeah,
12 days to plan something, that's plenty of time.
no, I'll definitely look into it. This was obviously very impromptu and surprising, but hey, man, that's why I'm in business. Through business, I actually recently got access to both Gary Payton, as you know, Hall of Fame
Gary's a
point
big
guard.
cannabis entrepreneur up in Seattle.
Yeah, yeah. He's the only point guard that won Defensive Player of the Year, right? So
Is
got
he?
access to, yeah, he is. He's the only point
Wow.
guard that won Defensive Player of the Year. Got access to both him and Caron Butler, who is the assistant coach on the Heat. So
Oh
um,
yeah.
so things are unfolding right through business, and I guess I just got Shaq as well through you.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Shaq's open to all things business related. He's a very savvy entrepreneur. I think he sold off his holdings of Five Guys, the burger chain. But I
Uh-huh.
think at one time he had like 155 guys.
Oh wow,
Yeah, I mean,
nice.
he's super deep into the franchise model. Like he's involved in this thing called the Big Shack. Or I think it's Chicken Shack. It's basically chicken sandwiches, extremely good. There's one in Vegas here, and yeah, he's very much into the entrepreneurial franchise business.
Nice, good deal.
So talk.
So
How old are
uh,
you, by the way? Tell everyone how
I
old you are.
well, how do you think?
Like 12.
Yeah, that's what they all say. It runs in the family, man. I always say that. See, when my sister graduated from med school, people still thought she was in high school. So I always say get a little 10% discount from up top.
If I were
But
you, I'd put like a little white in the hair, and that'll mess them up. They'll be like,
I have like one streak of white right here. I
you
think
got to
it's
get more
dress.
of them. But
The
once you get white, and then you just shave this stuff off, it'll add like 10 years to your life.
That's right. That's right. But no, I'm gonna let you throw a number out, and then I'll tell you my actual age.
Well, let's see. You've been dying to play basketball. You're still athletic enough, so you're not on crutches. I'd say 24.
Oh wow, yeah, you're giving me a lot of good graces there. I just turned 32 in January.
Jesus Christ! It's that
Yeah,
fucking Asian skin, man. You guys
that's
never look.
right. I know, and I know. That's what I'm saying. I get that 10% discount from my top. So really, I tell myself I'm like 22 over again. You know.
Wow. So you're in your 30s, and your dream is to play point guard, bring the ball up the court, and literally play in the NBA.
Well, no, my dream is to realize and push myself to see how far I can go. That's number one. In terms of the vision, there's three ways to get into the NBA Hall of Fame. There's NBA player, NBA coach, and NBA contributor. So my whole thing is the vision is the NBA Hall of Fame, and whatever I do, I want to build up a resume through
Where is
business,
the
right,
Hall of
and
Fame? Isn't the
basketball.
NBA Hall of Fame like in Ohio?
I'm actually not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure. But the whole point is, right, that is like the long term goal. And what I really want to do is I want to build up a lot of success so I can pay it forward and and be thankful for my university, right? My alma mater. You know, there's a lot of things that I love to
The
help the
Jayhawks.
community. Oh yeah. There's a
How
lot of
are the
things.
Jayhawks looking this year? Are they going to have a good basketball
I
team?
think they're going to be better than last year. Last year was
Shout
definitely
out to
more of
my
a
buddy
disappointment.
Cherokee Parks.
That's right. No, but this year should be better. I mean, last year I think we learned from the transfer portals that the team chemistry was not going to be that strong. That
Buddy,
you had to,
NIL
you
has
know what I mean?
changed
And the NIL,
everything in
yeah,
college
yeah,
sports. Like players are able to literally jump around even after 1 year.
I know. So it kind of, I mean, there was a void of loyalty in a sense, and heart and pride. You know, uh, there's a difference, right? When you wear the name because you're just wanting for to move your own career forward as opposed to playing for it. The
Yeah,
name
but
on the shirt,
you gotta understand to them their athleticism is their business. So just
That's
like
right,
you're an entrepreneur, they're an entrepreneur. And at the
right.
end of the day, if you've got somebody willing to pay you more money to come to their school, you don't owe anybody loyalty. You owe yourself, your family, your life, your future growth and success loyalty.
Well, that's why the best scenario is you do that and you create the win-win situations, right? You create a win for yourself and you create a win for the program. But clearly that didn't happen with us this year. It was more of a flop.
Well,
But
it's
it's
funny,
okay.
we're throwing the podcasters summit live down in Lubbock, Texas, and
Uh-huh.
Texas Tech, the team that's in Lubbock, raised and spent $81 million in NIL money for their team this year. They're a top 10 team, and they are a perfect example of how NIL is literally creating professional athletes inside the college football ranks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great, man.
So talk
So
about
it
you're
oh
an
yeah.
entrepreneur, you've been hustling. A lot of people are afraid to be an entrepreneur. A lot of people are
Oh
paralyzed
yeah.
to chase their dreams. I always like to end something with something inspirational. What would you tell somebody about getting off their ass and chasing their dreams and being an entrepreneur?
Well, first and foremost, I think you gotta have one. You gotta have a purpose. Because what you have to realize is if you don't have that purpose, it's not going to get you very far. You will have up days, you will have down days, and you cannot rely on motivation. You have to rely on discipline, and you have to rely on the fact that you're excited to get up, right? Like it's the right inputs. Like you can't I would say, don't become an entrepreneur just because. You have to have the right reasons first and foremost, and you have to have the right reasons, and you got to have the passion for it because passion is the best remedy against giving up. That's another thing. Passion, purpose, and then on top of that, a plan. Now, Mike Tyson always says, everyone has a plan until you get punched, but it's
Yeah,
a
that is
whole
true.
lot better to have a wise and intelligent plan laid out where you have structures in place, understanding that you need to probably be flexible within the structures, than no plan at all, right? A little bit preparation goes a long way. Like my master's was a facade where it was what I call a self-directed MBA, right? Like in the sense that, yeah, I was getting ready to go to med school, completing this master's room. But in the meantime, I was really like, I binge watched Shark Tank so that I could hang around
Who's your
indirectly with
favorite shark on Shark Tank?
Mark Cuban, right? Because that's
You
that's
like
what I did.
Cuban?
Yeah, because he was my motto of success. I mean, he made it. He was an MBA owner,
All right,
right? He figured it out.
who annoys you the most on Shark Tank? Most
Oh,
annoying shark.
who annoys me the most? Oh, I would say it's a tie between Barbara and Mr. Wonderful at times.
I'll be honest with you, it's got to be Mr. Wonderful, hands down, the most annoying investor out there. Like I look at some of the deals that he proposes to people, and I think to myself, what kind of walking idiot would take that deal?
I think he loves his royalty deals at the end of the day.
That's all he does is royalty deals, and they're just
Yeah.
terrific deals. Like you're literally ending up paying so much for that capital. It's like you could literally take a loan from a bank at a better deal.
Yeah. So, for me, it's a tie between the two for sure. I know they brought on some new people too. I thought it was pretty funny when Richard Branson and Mark got into a fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did. They did at one point. They like
Mark's kind
threw,
of annoying. I mean, he can annoy people.
he
Funny
can
thing
get under
is, he
people's skin.
recently just got rid of his NBA franchise about a year ago. And if you've noticed, the NBA over the last 20 years has been going downhill like crazy in the ratings. And a lot of teams have been changing hands, being sold off lately. Jordan
Yeah.
sold off, Cuban sold off, the Lakers just sold off.
The reason from what I heard is because they're transitioning where they're attaching a lot of casinos to the arena. And so, and also, if you look at, yeah, if you look at, there's an interview, with Mark where he kind of addresses that. If you look at the smaller markets like OKC and Indiana Pacers,
Oh my God,
they still,
OKC just signed Gilchrist for I think it was like 74 million a
yeah,
year, 4 years.
right. But the thing about them, right, is they have still they've retained like the college atmosphere. Like the fans are there to really support their teams, and you can really feel it. A lot of the arenas nowadays are getting converted into like luxury, kind of like first class hotels, first class flights. So what I'm saying is like it's creating this luxurious experience for higher status people, but so you have them congregated right in these luxury areas, and you don't have as many people um, in the stands screaming from their hearts because they've also raised the price so much. So they talk about that. They talk about like in Sacramento, they literally drove out their fans because they started increasing the tickets so much that a lot of the season ticket or the people who are so loyal for so long,
I used
they
to
can't
love
afford it.
fans in Sacramento. They bring the cowbells. I thought the cowbells was cool.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now they have Light the Beam.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
I think
There's
I think it
nothing
has
about that.
something to do with Star Wars or whatever, probably.
Bring back the cowbells. I thought that was cool. People clanging cowbells. All right,
Yeah.
so you're an entrepreneur. What's your message to people about chasing their dreams? What's your message to the world?
Okay. Definitely go after it. I read this book called On Living. It's a compilation of people's regrets on their deathbeds. That was one of the biggest influencers in my life. But also, do like go after mentors. Like have the right mentors, because they'll really accelerate, what you're trying to achieve. And don't do it blindly. You definitely need some parachutes. You wouldn't just go into the jungle barehanded, right? Like, make sure you got your backpack on. Make sure you have some water reservoirs, make sure you got some food with you. Like don't just jump into it, and don't bet the farm. Be willing to not marry your first business. Like you have to date your business because the market will tell you if your business will thrive or not, right? So let's say you have a great business idea, you go execute, the market tells you, hey, it's really not that great, right? Pivot. Don't be stubborn. And a lot of people in Shark Tank too, they like bet their house. They literally will like
Well, you got to
what
admit, those guys, when they bet the house, they're the best investment you can make as an investor because those guys are fully committed.
Yes, they're fully
That's
committed.
one thing you always look for in a
But
company.
your offer has to be there, and that's what the most important thing is. If your offer is not there and it's not validated by the market, okay, listen, you can have the world's shittiest salesperson, and you can still sell a great offer because the offer sells itself. If I have a shitty offer and I have the world's greatest salesman, it will still be really hard to move the offer, right? So what I'm saying is like be cognizant of what offer you have. If you have a shitty offer and you tie your house to it and you want to bet the house on it, you're probably going to fail. So, some common sense, some preparation, definitely go after mentorship. You don't need to go to college, but you do need self education. Self education and hard work and passion and purpose is the cornerstone of all successful entrepreneurs.
Sounds good. He's Phillip Jayhawk Chan. He's an entrepreneur. He's a hustler. He's out there making shit happen. Good talking to you, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you, Chris.